Hi there, welcome to a new episode of An Ordinary Review, and I'm your host, TJ. Today, let's talk Top Gun Maverick. The original Top Gun came out in 1986. The movie was directed by Tony Scott, who was famous for making some very good action movies. He was really a fantastic action director. Unfortunately, he passed away committing a suicide. He was the brother of another famous filmmaker, Ridley Scott, who made movies like Gladiator, Alien series. Ridley Scott is, even now, he's 80 plus and very active in making movies. Remarkable director and producer. So the original Top Gun was all about this elite fighter training program called Top Gun, which selects and trains the best Navy fighter pilots, which is like 1% of the entire fighter pilot population. Tom Cruise plays one of the trainee pilots in that movie. He is partnered with Anthony Edwards, who plays his partner with codename Goose. Tom Cruise's codename is Maverick. And then their rival is Val Kilmer, who goes by the codename Iceman. And then they have these duels that happen during the training. Unfortunately, in one of the duels, Tom Cruise's partner Anthony Edwards passes away because of an accident. And there is that backstory of that carries forward in this movie, Maverick, where Goose's son, played by Miles Teller, obviously has an axe to grind with Tom Cruise, and we'll come to that in a bit. This new movie, Top Gun Maverick, is directed by Joseph Kosinski. Now, he is also a very acclaimed director. He made Tron Legacy. The movie was well ahead of its time when it got released, and the action sequences and the background music of that movie is, even today, one of the best that I've seen. So if you have not seen Tron Legacy by Joseph Kosinski, do go check it out. Now coming back to Top Gun Maverick, when the movie is 36 years later, a sequel which is worthy of its time that it has taken to make the sequel. The movie got delayed in release itself because it was supposed to come out last year. Pandemic delayed it, but the wait was worth it. It's an awesome movie. The movie has to be seen on the big screen. I saw it in Imax. The movie is truly enjoyable when you see it on the big screen. Actually, all Tom Cruise action movies are, best enjoyed on big screen because of the stunts that he does, because of the music and the action. It is only fun to watch it on a big screen. And this movie in particular, because of the aerial stunts, because of the fighter pilots training and the mission, and the action sequences, and Tom Cruise, I think this movie is to be best enjoyed along with fantastic background music in the big screen. So this movie has a simple, straightforward storyline. Pete Maverick Mitchell, played by Tom Cruise, is not part of the program anymore. He's an elite fighter pilot, continues to fly the planes, and because of that, he's actually not got promoted in the Navy. Because he loves flying so much, he has refused promotion every time it came his way. So he's still the captain. And that is something that the Navy seniors resent, because they actually don't like him. He doesn't obey orders all the time, and he just continues to fly the planes. Early on in the beginning, he's actually trying to save one of the Navy programs because the Navy is looking at pilotless planes like drones, and they think that the future is with pilotless planes. And those planes will fly at very high speeds, 10 times the speed of sound, which the human pilots cannot manage. And so the beginning is with a bang where Tom Cruise is trying to prove the Navy seniors wrong, that he can actually fly 10 times the speed of sound. And that entire sequence is beautifully done, and he flies a stealth fighter plane, and it is just awesome to see him cross the speed of 10 Mach. It was, the movie starts with that sequence with a bang. Later, of course, there is a mission that the Navy is asked to take, which is to destroy a uranium enrichment plant in an unknown country, which is, the plant is in a very treacherous location. It's basically surrounded by mountains. It's in a deep valley, and so it's a treacherous mission. It cannot be done by anybody. It has to have the best of pilots to do it. So that's where, on the recommendation of Val Kilmer, who was his rival in the original Top Gun movie, but is an admiral now, he recommends that only Tom Cruise can train the best of the best pilots for this mission. This is not liked by John Hamm, who plays the supervisor of this program. John Hamm respects Val Kilmer, so he accepts the recommendation, but then he resents Tom Cruise, and that comes out in a nice, interesting exchange that happens between the two during the course of the movie. The elite pilots in this movie are all young guns like Monica Barbaro. She plays with the codename Phoenix. There is Glenn Powell. Remember him from Hidden Figures. He goes by the name codename Hangman. There is Miles Teller, who is the son of Goose, who was Tom Cruise's partner, goes by the name Rooster. And the exchange between Miles Teller and Tom Cruise is quite interesting. There is a tested relationship. Miles Teller blames Tom Cruise for what perhaps happened to his dad, and at the same time he blames him more because Tom Cruise didn't want him to enroll in this fighter program because he felt that he didn't want to lose his friend's son. So he actually delays him getting into the program, and that adds a lot of bad blood between the two. So how they deal with it forms an interesting part of the story. Jennifer Connelly is the love interest for Tom Cruise in this movie. The original movie had Kelly McGillis. He has moved on. They had an affair, and with both of them, Jennifer Connelly and Tom Cruise, it's shown that they moved on. They come back. The romance is rekindled. Very nicely done. Both of them look great together. Jennifer Connelly is one of my favorite actresses, and it was lovely to see her on the screen. The movie focuses on the training that Tom Cruise has to do. He truly believes that he has to train them so that they go and fly this mission and come back alive. Whereas John Hamm thinks that the mission is so important that even if they die during the mission, he's okay with the collateral damage that can happen. And that leads to the difference of opinion between Tom Cruise and John Hamm. Obviously, Tom Cruise eventually proves to him that there is a way to do this mission, and that entire training exercise is very, very interesting and very gripping on how he actually goes about planning that entire sequence that needs to take place. And he himself goes and flies and proves that it can be done, and then he leads the mission. The mission itself is very well done. The fighter plane stunts are absolutely amazing, particularly the sequence where he's actually flying an old F-14 in the end and doing a dogfight with the 5th generation fighter. Quite an engaging sequence towards the end of the movie. So overall, I would say it's a movie which was worth the wait. It's a sequel which is worthy of the original. In fact, it is better than the original, I would say. I honestly did not understand the original movie as much. When it came out, I was in my early teens, so did not truly understand the story. But then this movie is rather simple, straightforward, and it's fun to watch. It's a movie that will also take you back a little in time because Tom Cruise still believes in old way of filmmaking, where he truly believes that the stunts have to be done by human, the CGI needs to be limited. So this movie doesn't have too much of CGI, which makes it all the more fun to watch. Because the movies early on used to be more where it was people and the stunts and the humans who were doing it, and that makes it very interesting to watch. So you'll get a little nostalgic seeing this movie. There is a scene, with Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer is not acting anymore. He's lost his voice because of throat cancer, unfortunately. But they got him into this movie as a continuation of the character he played in the original movie. And that sequence is quite touchy, where he meets Tom Cruise. He communicates using a keyboard, and in the end he does say a few sentences, and if you do look up on that, they actually recreated his voice using an AI because he just cannot speak. So he did the lip movements, and the voice, raspy voice was basically created using AI. But that entire sequence where both Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer meet is quite emotional, quite touching. Overall, an awesome sequel, but to be enjoyed only on a big screen. So don't wait for it to come to OTT. Yes, it will come to OTT. You can check it out second time when you see it on OTT. But if you really want to have the real fun of watching this movie, then it has to be on the big screen. Check it out in a theater near you. Take all the precautions when you go and watch the movie, but it is truly a fun on a big screen. So that's Top Gun Maverick. Thank you for watching my reviews. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and sharing your recommendations and feedback. If you're not able to see my reviews on YouTube, do check out the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcast. And if you listen in, please share a review and 5-star rating so others can discover it. I look forward to bring more interesting reviews for all of you. Till next time, signing off. Bye-bye.